Welcome to Alicante, the home of the ocean race. We're here at the Ocean Race Museum, a legacy of 50 years of adventure and a dedication to those sailors who have taken up the challenge of our 14 editions. But of course, some of those sailors are still competing right now in the fierce conditions of the Southern Ocean, competing to add their names to the history books.
This is the ultimate ocean marathon since 1973, the 50th anniversary of the race. It has always pitted the sport's best sailors against each other in an expedition through the world's toughest waters. With no prize money on the line, sailors are rewarded with the adventure of a lifetime, testing their skills, endurance, determination and mental strength, racing for 6 months around the world in one of the most brutal sporting events of modern day. For 50 years, this iconic round-the-world adventure has been sailed on various ocean racing yachts, from the Corinthian-style cruising yachts through to the professional purpose-built VO60s and VO70s, and most recently the VO65, used in the 2 previous editions. In this race, the 14th edition, and entirely new to the ocean race, are the state-of-the-art foiling Imokas. These are cutting-edge prototype boats, designed for nothing but speed, and there are 5 teams challenging aboard these fierce foiling machines. There is 1 Swiss team and 1 French team, Holcim-PRB and Biotherm respectively, along with a European collaboration in Guio Environment Team Europe. And then there's Boris Herrmann's German team Milizia and the American powerhouse 11th Hour Racing Team. In this edition, they will race 32,000 miles around the world to 9 iconic cities, reaching unimaginable speeds. The ocean race is the toughest team sport in the world. This is the race that never stops, day or night. This is the Ocean Race 2022-23.
The toughest test of a team in sport, and this leg 3, the toughest and longest leg in the history of the race, 12,750 nautical miles. And after 14 days of racing, our sailors have only managed to bite into the first 5,000 nautical miles. They still have 7,000 nautical miles to go before that finish line in Brazil. But there is some scores available at halfway, at 143 degrees longitude, or just to the west of Tasmania. Our teams will finally get some reward for the hard work of what has been an incredibly hard-fought race so far.
It has been a leg of breakages, repairs, unpredictable weather patterns and record-breaking speeds. The challenges started in the opening hour of day 1 with 11th Hour Racing Team breaking 2 batten fittings and having to suspend racing to take on spares. Biotherm broke their track vang after a wild nosedive and also suspended racing and returned to port to make repairs. A few days into the leg, after very un-southern ocean weather conditions, Milizia lost their Code Zero, which ripped a gash in the top of their carbon fibre mast. They needed a full 12 hours to repair it, with Will Harris and Rosalind Kuiper working up the mast and the crew sending buckets of reinforcing carbon sheets up to them. Guio Environment Team Europe had to turn back to Cape Town with serious structural issues and retired from leg 3 to make repairs and rejoin the race in Brazil. 11th Hour Racing Team's catalogue of issues started with a rope that extends the foils being worn out exceptionally quickly, followed by damage to 2 critical head sails. But worse was to come when, on a routine inspection, they discovered some serious cracks in both rudders. With only 1 replacement, the team faced a daunting choice in how to proceed. Through all of this, Team Holcim-PRB pushed on with pace, getting 1 full weather system ahead and building a lead of nearly 600 miles. But the last 4 days have seen the following pack of 3 move into more favourable weather and reduce the lead to just over 100 miles. Now, with the leg 3 scoring gate fast approaching, all 4 boats have found themselves in perfect conditions. Strong winds from a good angle and a relatively flat sea state. As a result, records are falling. Throughout Saturday morning, all 4 IMOCAs have shattered the previous 24-hour distance record, with Holcim-PRB setting the new standard of 595.26 nautical miles, well above the previously ratified mark of 539 miles. And with the distance between the fleets compressing, the race is still very much on for the leaderboard points on offer at the 143-degree east longitude scoring gate.
2 weeks of incredible racing, but let's bring it up to date. For Team Holcim-PRB, their 500 nautical mile lead has been threatened by the chasing pack, and the best has been from 11th Hour Racing Team, who put in a record-breaking 582.87 nautical mile run in 24 hours, bringing that lead down to nearly 100 nautical miles. For Kevin Escoffier and the Swiss boat, they simply just went one better. 595 miles in 24 hours. An incredible performance out on the water. Now, one boat that you won't be seeing on the tracker at the moment is Guyot Environment Team Europe. After damaging their boat, they had to retire from this race and return to Cape Town. And right now, they're in a race to repair and rejoin the action in Brazil. I caught up with skipper Benjamin Dutroux about their efforts to fix their boat. But first, I wanted to get his reaction on the incredible speeds that we've seen on the water.
It's crazy to see the fast speed they have and to see what happened on the fleet. Everybody push very hard. Yeah, for sure. I think on board it's crazy time. At the moment we are in the good ending. I hope the painters have finished. I finished the last layer of paint. We have done a very professional repair. And that is good for the next, because we have not only repaired the damage zone, we have reinforced the starboard zone too, to don't have another problem in the next legs, and that is important. So now we know we can push the boat in at 100% for the next legs, and yeah, probably we have a little competition here in the team is to arrive in the same time to the other boats in Itajaí.
Fingers crossed for Guyot Environment Team Europe that they can get to Brazil in time. But right now, out on the water in the Southern Ocean, our first boat has crossed the scoring gate. Team Holcim-PRB snapping up 5 points, and with it edging ever higher on the overall scores. And we can go now live to the boat. Kevin, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Congratulations on the 5 points. Can you talk us through how it is that your team has set such a strong pace in the first stage of this leg?
I think that from the start in Cape Town to this scoring gate, I think we've done the things very well since the start in Cape Town. You remember that, I think, pretty sure. A very wild start, going through the light spot after Cape Town, then catching the low pressure, then being able to keep the other boats behind us with this amazing 24 hours record. So no, very happy with the boat, very happy with the crew, and I think we've done a very nice one from the start from Cape Town to this scoring gate, and I think we deserve it, and we need to enjoy that, even if it's long up to Itajaí, we need to enjoy this one.
And Kevin, what comes next for you in this leg? What are your plans to stay in first place?
Today we've got tonight we've got between a very gusty wind between 25 and 32 knots. Very short sea state, so we are, I would say that we are pushing a little bit less than the last 30 hours, and working on the weather forecast, because the Pacific won't be easy to cross with light spots.
Well, first place at the scoring gate is fantastic, but also 595 nautical miles in 24 hours. That's incredibly impressive.
I'm pretty sure, you know, all boats could even go more than that if we were not in a huge leg than like this one. We have to find, it's our work, we have to find the balance between pushing, between being ahead and not still have prototype boats, and we are not sure yet how much we can push with these boats. It's sure we can go more than that. To prove it, you've seen that we've done an hour at 27.8. I have to tell you that I was sleeping at that time. It was Sam and Tom on the deck. So when you're able to do 27.8 in 1 hour, I'm pretty sure you can even do more than 600 on 24 hours.
Well, it's impressive to hear how much the whole team is working together. How is your crew? How is everybody on board at this halfway stage? You have a lot of miles left to go.
Yes, we've done. If you look at the time or the miles, we've done approximately a third of this leg 3. The crew is in good shape. We've been able to sleep quite well in the light spot before this huge sprint to the scoring gate. We've been able to go in the mast to do a rig check. We've been everywhere in the boat in order to check the structure of the boat. So everybody's in good shape, and I want to keep it. I want to keep it like that. It's not that hazy, you know. We'll have a few hours ahead of us, quite windy with jibes along the ice limit. So lots of work ahead. But again, as I said, I think we deserve the 5 points of this scoring gate. We've done a great trip from Cape Town to here, and I'm very proud of the crew, very proud also of the Holcim-PRB team, because we launched the boat quite late, and it was not easy to have a so reliable boat and so fast boat in order to do what we've done these last days.
Oh, Kevin, listen, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on an impressive 24-hour run and 5 points at the scoring gate. Bon voyage, and we'll speak to you soon. Well, congratulations to Team Holcim-PRB picking up those top 5 points. But now let's go to the back of the fleet. Biotherm looks set to cross the scoring gate in 4th place. But let's remember that this is a long way from where they started the race. They were the first boat to go back to Cape Town after suspending racing with some main track damage, and then rejoined, caught up, and even at times were 2nd place. Unfortunately for them, they are going to be 4th across that scoring line, but we can go live to the boat now and talk to Damien Sagan. Damien, thank you very much for talking to us. It's always quite amazing to see what the boats are going through in the Southern Ocean. How's the racing on board?
Yeah, on board Biotherm now, it's pretty windy, and the wave conditions are very special, so it's hard to go very fast with the boat, but as you can see, we are very close to the other boat, but yeah, racing is good.
We've seen some amazing videos of the boat and the rough ride that you guys have been having. Have you been able to get any sleep? Have you been able to eat any food? Is it comfortable?
Absolutely no. It's not comfortable inside the boat, and outside it's pretty with a lot of weight, not really easy. And the last 3 days we didn't see the sun. So.
And obviously for you guys on Biotherm, it looks like you're going to be crossing the scoring gate in 4th place, but a lot of racing still to go. What's your plan for the second half?
Yeah, unfortunately we did 2nd place last day, but you know, as you said, there is a lot of road front of us to Cape Horn and Itajaí. So the most important for us is to preserve the material, preserve the boat, preserve the crew, and we hope better days in the future.
And how is the crew on board? How is everybody getting along with the race?
Everybody is fine. It's not the problem, but as I said, it's uncomfortable inside the boat, so it's not easy to sometimes to eat something. And but that's racing, and we know that IMOCA's boats are very uncomfortable, so it's
Damien, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. We'll let you get back to sailing the boat and pushing hard in the Southern Ocean. Thank you. Well, for Biotherm, fourth place, all but a certainty. But how about the battle for second and third? Well, Team Militia have been locked in a very tight drag race with 11th Hour Racing Team over the last, 24 hours at least. And we can now go live on board Team Militia and talk to Rosalind Kuiper for the latest. Oh, Rosie, you've had quite the battle with 11th Hour Racing Team to the scoring line. How is the sailing on board?
Yeah, the sailing at the moment is full on. About 7 hours ago, we passed 11th hour. We could see them just 200 meters from our boat. The vibe on board is good. I think we're all a little bit tense as well because we see that we can get second in this leg, so we feel we have it almost in our hands, but we should not drop it. And now it's the balance between pushing the boat to the max and not making any mistakes, and not breaking anything. And
what's it like to be so close to another boat finally that you are, right next to 11th Hour Racing Team?
Yeah, it was super excited to be so close to each other. When I looked at their boat, it was very grey because the sun was going down, and you see the grey sea, the grey sky, and you see the white caps on the waves, and you just see a boat flying and like such a motion in this big sea state, and you realize this is massive. Where are we? And you realize I'm on this kind of boat too, and it was almost magical to see the two of us together in the middle of the Southern Ocean, so close, and just we were overtaking them. It was I don't know, my whole heart was full of fire. I felt so alive, and for me this was one of the most special moments in this whole trip.
What were you doing that meant that you went past them? What gave you the edge?
We were pushing to the mark, so we had no reef. We had fractional downwind sail with a J3, and they had the same setup. But our boat, we just could manage the waves a little bit better, and we saw them. They were nose diving like big time, so like kaboom in the wave, and they were stuck for 5 seconds and then big wipeout, and we could manage to skim the waves. We have so much rocker in the bow, and that helps us to fly over the waves instead of getting stuck in the waves, and I think that was it. And we played the pilot so actively, so we have watches 4 hours on, 4 off. And then approximately half an hour you do active driving on the pilot, and the other one is chilling and resting, because it's super intense, and you feel and you know if you make one mistake, the boat will wipe out. So you're really switched on, and we are driving the boat to the max at the moment.
It's good to hear that the boat is working well. What about the mast? Has the repair been good enough? Is it giving you full confidence?
Yes, we did a massive repair, so we had a rip of 26 centimeters from the top, so the mast had halyard because the sail came down earlier this week. and we did repair 18 layers of 300 grams carbon, so a couple of centimeters lamination. And I went up the rig a couple of days ago to do a check, and the repair seems super good, and I even think that the mast is stronger now than it was before.
There's still an awfully long way to go before any of the teams get to Brazil. How is the team holding up physically at this halfway stage?
Yeah, very well. For us, we know it's still a long way to go, and I'm not even counting the days, and I'm not even thinking about arriving in Brazil. I think for all of us, we see it watch by watch, hour by hour, and that's it. We don't look too far ahead, and so far the vibe is super good on the boat. We have nice chats, we have nice laughs, and we're just pushing, and we push as a team. And for me, I'm looking forward to the next days, and I'm not thinking about arriving on land at all. I just really enjoy being in the Southern Ocean, and I hope there's many more adventures to come in the next days.
Well said, well said. Well, good luck, all the best, and enjoy the conditions.
Okay, thank you very much, Neil.
Team Militia in a very tight battle for second or third. And the other boat, 11th Hour Racing Team, well, we were hoping to connect to them, but unfortunately the conditions were against us. So we haven't been able to check in live with that boat. But I mean, if you look at the speeds that the American boat have been putting in on the water, you will see that they are not holding back. Yes, they might have some rudder problems, but right now the throttle is fully open. At times, their speed's 25, 26 knots on the water. A little bit faster, then a little bit slower than Team Militia. And that's what's making this race to the scoring gate quite so intense. We'll have to keep our eyes glued to the tracker to find out who it is that picks up those points for the second place. But however the points are awarded, whatever the scoreboard looks like, these teams still have 7,000 nautical miles to go before the finish line in Brazil and the end of leg 3. The Southern Ocean is not finished with our sailors yet.